Christina, let's bring you in. Good to see you. The York Hall last night up here, obviously. How excited are you about not just Saturday night, but the weeks that go beyond Saturday night, and all the talk of the possibility of Gennady Golovkin and the fact that your son could be in some massive nights in the coming months?
Months, years as well. In terms of Julian and the coming week and months and years, look, I have my career. These 19 World Championship wins I had to be a particular person to achieve that. That particular person has fathered this young man, and he has listened to the instruction. And so this peculiar man in me who brought up this young man here, I've watched, I've seen, he has completed the tasks which were insurmountable, impossible tasks to overcome. He overcame them. Again, I talk about the Cuba beating, a heavyweight. He said, I didn't learn anything by taking that beating. He can't see it. I know what I was looking for. Can you take a beating and stay there? He did. 3 rounds, got battered. This is a middleweight. That was a heavyweight. Cuban first team. So the way in which he's being brought up, he's being built by a fighter, not a promoter, not a manager. No disrespect to Dave, but what was your record as a professional?
Well, not going to do it.
The way in which you would have built your fighters isn't the way I would have built my fighters. And so from that point of view,
You said fighters.
I'm talking about Mr. Dorman.
Right, okay.
So in terms of what you've actually given him, it just will not be able to compare to what I've given to this fighter here, my son. And so from that point of view,
But in what regard?
in what regard? We'll have that conversation after.
No, you asked it here. I brought my record as a fighter.
What was your record?
What has that got to do with anything?
Well,
Everybody knows
if you're not
that I didn't
going to
do
answer the
anything.
questions that are
That's
wrong.
now. Everybody knows
Mhm.
that as a boxer, I didn't achieve. I won an Aries title.
And
That was it.
Okay, and
That was it.
and
But
I can make my point
can
now.
I just?
Sure you can.
But has that stopped me from doing anything as a trainer or a manager?
No, of course not.
So what has my record got to do with it?
Well, I'm making the point now.
Okay.
The point is that because of your lack of experience in what happens when it comes to inside the ring, because of your lack of, you can only pass on so much information to Tom, in my view.
In your view.
And in my view, the information that I passed on to Junior I'm talking about from the age of 0, he has seen the cut of a champion. And that is what is fueling him to do what he's doing just now as British champion.
Okay. So can I just ask you this? So every world champion that's out there that's been trained or managed by someone, has every trainer or every manager been a successful boxer who's turned out a successful fighter?
That's not my point. You can take that up with the press in a minute. The only point I'm making is that...
That's what I mean. The point's irrelevant.
Sorry.
My career's got nothing to do with that. He's his own man.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with my career as a boxer?
You're the one who's actually managing him.
Yeah?
Okay, and I'm just saying your experience compared to my experience puts him at a disadvantage. Wouldn't you?
My experience as a manager.
Yeah. Wouldn't you?
Do you know what I've done as a manager? Do you know what I've done as a trainer?
I'm having a press conference with the media. I've actually made my point.
Yeah, but again, you're just such a disrespectful man. There's no reason for that.
I haven't been disrespectful to you.
What?
If no-
Jibber-jabber
I'm
about
talking
that's not even relevant.
I'm talking about the comparison in terms of the fighters that we are representing. And what I've given to my fighter as opposed to what you've given to yours.
What did you do with yours?
let's go on and move on.
And what did you give to him when Billy Joe Saunders beat him?
I'll move on.
Thoughts on
And I'll also come back to the Billy Joe Saunders fight, which has made him much more dangerous. He's not giving away fights anymore. So the point, Tom, in that he gave away 6 rounds to Billy Joe Saunders, he's not doing that anymore. And because he's not doing that anymore, I don't even have to look at Billy Joe Saunders as a fighter. We're going to the top, because if he follows instruction as he will now do, he wipes out everyone. And, you know, okay, so now I'm a little bit heated because of
what?
I'll tell you this.
You were the one that come out in the first place.
I'll tell you this.
Chris,
I'll tell you.
being worse to battle people.
You be quiet,
I'll go on to say this. That because I'm now a little bit edgy, I'll tell you this.
Wow, I made Chris Eubank edgy.
There is in boxing, certainly in the United Kingdom, do not talk to me about other fighters. And again, remember, you're talking to a guy who's got the 19 World Championship wins. Yeah. So, yes, for those of you who say I'm deluded, I would have to have been deluded to achieve what I've achieved. Ordinary behavior couldn't have got me what I have. And it is that behavior that has been instilled in him. So when I say, with my edge, that do not talk to me about other fighters in the United Kingdom, this one is it. He's real. Okay? And the others are, I see celebrities. I see guys who are they're taking part in a game. This is no game to this man. So I'm going to have to say it. You know, the referee has to be watchful of all these fighters. And yes, I will say it too. I'll say this too. Golovkin included. Watch. I want to say something to Nigel, Mr. Benn, about Conor. See, Conor may actually turn out to be a good fighter one day. We don't know it yet. But it's not the boxing of which I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with the ordinary life. The people. Who are your friends? Who are you moving around about with? His father should be there to watch that. Now, he famously said that he got introduced to particular substances. This took him off track and maybe made him the fighter that he became. Maybe he could have been a better fighter if he wasn't involved with those mates who introduced him to that ordinary life. Your father knows here.
Who are you to talk about my life? Who are you to talk about my life? Who are you to talk about my personal life in front of all these cameras? Who are you? I find that extremely disrespectful.
No, it's not.
That is very disrespectful. It's none of your business. You want to talk about my dad, talk about him. Don't talk about me and come with all that. Tell about my life.
I would like
Don't talk about my life in front of these cameras. That's my personal life.
I don't know about your life.
You want to talk about my boxing?
I don't know
Very
about
well. Don't talk about my personal life.
Okay.
I talk about my boxing. That's it.
Okay.
And my personal life.
Okay. His boxing life will be better protected if his father is involved with him. Because his father will protect him against the things which happen to him. So when the father is close, the fighter is better protected. This is what I was saying. It is in support of you. It's not against you, and I'm not trying to embarrass you. I want the best for you. You may have what it takes. You may have that spirit, that energy that your father had. What I'm worried about is the outside, the parties, the girls, the media, the guys who throw you off track. That's why Junior is protected, because I'm not moving away from him. I'm always there watching everybody around him. And I'd like the same for you. It's in support of you that I say what I say. No disrespect meant. Back to the fight.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Back to the fight. We do not, and we will never overestimate or underestimate anyone. And Junior has been doing the work. He hasn't been training for 4 weeks or 6 weeks. He's been training for 10 years. We don't take breaks. This is what happens when you have a father like me. My objective, the prerequisite of a father is to protect his son. So I've asked him to be relentless and he has complied. And that, Tom, is what you're dealing with. David, it was an absolute pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.